Hey folks, we're back. I've got COVID, so I've been wiped out for a whole week, and so I haven't been in any kind of production at all. I've just basically been bedridden. So thanks a lot to everyone that's been shouting out and giving love and healing wishes. So it's very much appreciated. I'm going to check my signal here real quick to make sure that I'm coming through okay. I'm going to check my signal here. Yeah, it sounds like I'm coming through okay now, well enough. I'm going to do some really fast social media posts, and then we're going to do some character art today. So, give me a moment while I update the social media posts here. We're creating an adventure for Eberron. It's called Crystals of Mabar. You can see the book cover here on screen. It's using Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition 2024 rules. We're fighting undead demons and necromancers in the Carnwood of Carnath on the continent of Corvair, and this will be publishing on the DMsGuild once it is completed. And so that's my intro. So if you think this stuff is cool, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications and when we're live in the future. Here's a bunch of other books that I've created on the DMsGuild. They all have free previews. Be welcome to check them out. If you think they're cool, consider purchasing to support similar shenanigans in the future. So this book cover we made around episode 40, and here I'm going to get this sample image out of the way. But there we go. And so yeah, so we've when we were last here last week, I was threatening to find sample images with color palettes that I liked, and I think that I did an okay job. I don't want these guys looking too much like Silver Flame because they're kind of undercover. They shouldn't be in Carnath where the adventure takes place, so I'm not drawing attention to the fact that they're Silver Flame at all. We're just trying to keep them clandestine, as it were. So we're going with muted tones, stuff that might work in a forest okay. Hopefully that's what ends up happening. So here's the rogue, and we're going to, so we have our sketch of our rogue here. We have our reference, which is from the player's handbook, the rogue image from the player's handbook. And we're going to work this like comic books. So we have our sketch here, and then we're going to put color underneath it, and then we're going to work detail into the picture from the color and the line work, and then we'll merge them together, and then work the color into the line art so it has a more semi-realistic style. So that's where we're going to go, and that's where we're at. So give me a second here. I'm going to create a folder here, call it color, so we can keep everything separated. And we're just going to grab and go. Let's see. This isn't very high resolution. Doesn't have to be. I've got a highlight here. I've got a mid-tone here, and I've got a shadow here. So that should work just fine for us. So I'm going to grab this as our base color. Actually, you know what? I think I want something more pale than that. Let's go with these highlights here. That little tip on her nose makes a little bit of a difference to come through with the flesh. There. I think that'll help create some fun contrast with the type of armor, this leather that she's got going. Yeah, I don't think I need flesh on the gloves, but I want to have this. A lot of skin is bare on the rogue. I'm not really high energy right now. I still have I still have a lot of throat stuff going on, so I may be interspersed and speaking a lot, and I'm a little woozy still. But for the most part, I feel pretty good. It's I got a lot of sleep in, and boy, it was needed. So there's skin, and we're gonna grab. I'm going to grab some highlights, like, we're just going to grab this like that. I'm going to bring that down. Make it a little bit more of a... There. Grabbing some highlights here like that. detail. I have the hair on a separate layer from the face so that when we get into working this detail, we can do wisps without actually interrupting what's going on there. Hair, and then we're going to pick up, this will probably be a decent color. Let's see how that sits. Actually, I'm going to use her cowl for the cloth. And yeah, let me adjust my screen here. That's just an internal thing I want to do for myself. Hello, folks. Thanks a lot for being around. I know that YouTube isn't tracking likes or views anymore of people that are using ad blocker, but we know you guys are out there. So I really appreciate everyone that's swinging through and checking this stuff out. It's it takes a lot of art, a lot of work to build an adventure for Dungeons and Dragons. It's a heavy lift, and anyone that's been around knows that I've literally been working on this for like 2 years here on screen. And we're getting close to actually being done, and I'm excited about that. But we still have a lot of work to do. And I don't think I honestly wouldn't have been able to do this project at all if it wasn't for YouTube, because artwork is such a lonely endeavor. You're just working on your own, and the way that a lot of crafts work is that you spend a lot of time in isolation producing something, and then you roll it out to the world and say, here's something that I did, look at my refrigerator. And it either connects with people or it doesn't. They either see it or they don't. And this YouTube process has been a great opportunity for me to prevent myself from having nearly as much loneliness as I otherwise would have, because I can at least, if I'm talking to somebody, at least somebody might be able to hear it and respond back and say hi. So I really appreciate that. Thank you a lot for being here. Yeah, we'll go with that there. I'm gonna do some underpinning, some pants here, and then we'll probably we'll have armored thighs, and then I'm not sure what these things are called. Hey, that's my 20-minute timer. Let me know what time we're at. I typically work about an hour and a half or so in the mornings when I'm able. When I'm not sick, which is rare, but usually I work for about an hour and a half in the mornings, and Monday through Friday before I go into my day job. And I also often stream like in the evenings, like Mondays and Thursday nights, which tonight's Thursday, but I'm sick, so I don't think I'm going to be streaming tonight. I think I'm going to lay low and just be quiet so I have more recovery time. I'm liking that. I would have been streaming previously, but I just couldn't get any sleep. It's COVID really screwed up my sleeping patterns, and prevented me from just getting any rest at all. So instead of waking up earlier to do artwork before I go to my day job, I just slept through to the last minute and then dragged myself to work. I'm still fatigued, but I'm much better off than I was before. I think that's probably okay for the cloth. I like just the undertone of the color. So we're gonna go. Let's grab this boot color here. Yeah, let's do this. Let's grab this tone here for the boot. We'll use this for pretty similar. want to switch this up so I don't make a mistake. There we go. Those are very similar. I may as well make them the same. Here, and then we got these gloves, so we're going to use that. So I should be, you know, if everything goes well, I'll be back tomorrow, and I typically take the weekends off, spend time with family and friends, and then I'll be back Monday morning to continue with the artwork. And we just keep working through pieces until we're done. So I also have, we also have to string up the adventure. We have to create the background image for the actual pages in the art itself. And yeah, I think I can. I want to go with the heavier the heavier armor color here and here. That feels pretty good so far. Let's go with that. And now we'll go with it's all going to end up being samey, isn't it? There's probably not much difference between. I don't see any colors, so I have to use color references like this. By using the color picker in the upper right hand corner, it'll tell me what the RGB here is, and that's how I know that's like a natural dark leather sort of look to it. But ultimately, I don't really know what the color is until I pick it, and I'm realizing that a lot of this is all the same color, just different gradients, and that's fine. I know where these are coming from, and it doesn't really bother me. But Photoshop allows me to work in color even though I can't see it, which is a small miracle. I'm very, very proud and thankful for the ability to do that. I would probably be doing a lot more OSR type work if I hadn't figured out how to create color, because the OSR scene is far more forgiving to use black and white art than the DMsGuild. But D&D is my first love in role playing games, and I love Eberron as a setting for my role playing team, and I like 5e. I like Eberron. It just makes sense that I would make an adventure in Eberron using 5e, and if I want to do that, then I put it on the DMsGuild. So, and the DMsGuild has free assets that come from like the Monster Manual and like the 3rd edition Player's Handbook and some of the 4th edition work. And there's a hodgepodge of free color art that you can make use of, which tends to elevate the quality of art on the DMsGuild beyond what people might normally have access to on their own, because most people that create D&D content aren't artists, so they have to find stock art someplace. So it's really cool that the DMsGuild provides all that free art for people to use, but it reinforces color as quality, and it should. Color is quality. But if you don't use color, it kind of stands out that you're not using color. So everyone uses color on the cover, and then it's an issue of just do you have the ability to, do you have color available to you, inside or not? And since I can do my own art, I can provide color everywhere. So, and since to me it's a small miracle that I can in the first place, I want to brag that up. So that's why I've been leaning into so much color. It would certainly be faster for me just to work in black and white, obviously. But I've been given an opportunity to play in this color space, and I want to take advantage of it. Naturally, right? Of course I do. This is still pretty rough. But at the same time, these are just tokens. You know, it's not like this is a whole page of art. It's just a little token that we're drawing. Here we go. And once I have all this color filled in, we'll then be able to erase the lines. Like all those like little stray garbage that's laying around on the screen. Hey, where'd my music go? There we go. There we go. So thanks again to everyone that's been swinging by and checking this stuff out. And I think you got to be interested in art and D&D to be interested in my channel. I don't think it's destined for greatness. I just don't think it is. I would have to. I don't know what I need to do. Videos obviously do a lot better than live streaming, but if I make videos of like D&D content, then I'm not producing art or the books that I put the artwork in. So I'm kind of trapped in that if I want to stream, live streaming is the best way to go, but that live streaming doesn't get promoted very much, and it's not necessarily what anyone's really interested in watching. But again, I just want to share the process of making artwork so that, like I said, it prevents me from being lonely. Honestly, artwork is incredibly lonely. So being able to stream like this allows me the opportunity just to connect with people. And so I'm really thankful for anyone that swings through and hangs out for a little while. And so thanks a lot for being here, guys. I really appreciate you. Anyone that's just interested in the work that I do in general, it's a blessing that anyone finds the channel and spends any time with it. You know what? Honestly, I need to find a weapon reference. So I'm going to conceal that. And we're going to drop down to other characters. Let's grab that color. There we go. Now let's just... Oof, that's very faint. Maybe that's not the right reference. Hold on, let's try that again. There, that'll do. Yeah, we'll just do the blade and... No, that's not what I want. Hold on. Hold on. We'll figure this out. Hold on. Stick with me. There. No, even that's not quite where I want it to be at. There. That's the stuff. That's the color that I want. There we go. We'll fill that in. And then we'll do some line art clean. We'll erase all the little scraggly bits that are hanging out. And then we'll get into blending and detail work. So that's our base character. There we go. Now we're going to fold up color. We're going to duplicate the layer. Sounds a little bit stronger. I'm going to merge this group down, and then I'm going to select outside of it, and then I'm going to duplicate this group just to make sure we don't have any errors, and then delete. Yeah, nope. Let's just go through and do some mild cleanup. We'll just do it like this. We'll do it manually. I don't want to do a select, fill, erase. That's just doesn't feel like it's working properly. So we're going to go through here and just do all this little cleanup, all these little bits that I see that are just laying around and outline beyond the color, just to clean up the form a little bit here. Get inside these negative spaces first. There we go. And then down here, clean that up. I don't have to kill myself in detail over these characters. These are just little 1-inch tokens. These are very minor NPCs that may or may not even show up in the adventure, but it's an opportunity just to make some characters, and it sits on the page of one of the plot hook pages talking about different types of adventures that are running around inside of this adventure. Adventurers in the adventure. It's a little redundant sounding, but I mean, there it is. There's alternate plot hooks throughout this adventure that the DM can use to change the frame of reference for the actual adventure itself that introduces the characters into it, or to use as like rivals or alternate teams that are running around. I think that feels pretty good. Let's do that. So I can drop this down into the trash folder there, and I can get rid of that layer there. We can go back to here. Yeah. Okay, cool. So now we've got this built out, and so we have our weapons, metal. We've got our leather, our armor. We've got our different armor. We've got clothing. We've got hair, and we've got the flesh. So now that we have all those things defined, and let's zoom in here to make sure that we're looking good. Yeah, we're looking good. Okay, now that we have all those separate elements laid out here, we're going to go back through and we'll divide these things up into separate groups to keep them separated. Hey! And we'll add our reference back in. We'll come back here into skin. So this is our base skin color. So we're going to do highlights and shadows. So like I said, we do this like a comic book. So we start off with our base color, and then we'll add in the shadows. And then if necessary, we'll add in highlights above it. I don't necessarily know if we need highlights above it or not, but here's the shadows that we have for the character. It's a very dark shadow. I don't think I need to have it that dark. I'm just going to use a gradient or a faded layer like this. I like her nose poking out. That's fun. That's too large. Let's bring that smudger down. Let's switch to our guitar pick. That's a good smudge brush. here. There we go, like that. It seems to be working. Yeah, so far so good. Not a lot of skin showing, so there's not a lot of detail I have to do. Let's go back up here and grab that highlight, because I think we'll be able to make use of that after all. I'm going to bring this up. There we go, a little bit of highlight there. Pretty subtle. That's okay. It feels pretty good. All right, cool. Skin's good. Let's go back to the hair. Now that we have the skin established, it's going to be easy for us to be able to do wisps. Let's oops. Did I accidentally destroy my windows? Hold on. I want there's here, and let's crank up the strength of our smudge brush. Yeah, there we go. Like that. There we go. Thank you, timer. There, okay, cool. And so that's the wispiness. Let's add in some highlights. We'll grab this color here. I like that purple. I think that purple is going to end up looking really cool. I don't think I need to do any shadow. I think this is shady enough. Let's raise it up a little bit though. I think that'll be a fun color there. Let's do that. Yeah, very easy. Doesn't need to be anything too heavily detailed. Now we're going into the fabric, and I know that we used here, so I'm going to grab this base color here. There we go. Oops, I shouldn't be. This needs to be a separate layer. Thank you. First off, we can just block this in down here. here. We'll block that in. Yeah. After we get done blocking in the colors like this, we can start blending things together just to work the line art into the color. Like that. There we go. Oh man, good pop in the neck. Whew, I've been in bed a lot, sleeping off this COVID, so I'm shaking all the kinks out still, and my energy's still pretty low. So it's pretty chillaxed this morning, but it feels really good to be back in the saddle and getting our work done. Man, I love doing this stuff. It's so fun. Let's grab, that should be good as a highlight, so we can splash a little color across here. Put some highlight in here and here. Just a little touch there. A little touch there. A little mark there. There we go. I'll fold that up. Now we're going to work on the gloves and the armbands. And I know we grabbed those color references from down here, so I'm going to grab this shadow here and here. So I'll just add in here. Wait a second. Let's go deeper. A little bit of a bluishness to it. There we go. There, and then I got our gloves in here. There we go. And what else you got? Yeah, it's just the gloves and the armbands, so that's cool. I want to grab a highlight for those. There we go. And a little bit of a highlight over here and here. There. And now the armor. That's coming from here. So let's grab this highlight here. Since this is so dark, I think highlights is where we need to be at. So let's just drain in some highlight here like that, and then bring that in here. There, and then that feels pretty good. And then we'll brush in a little bit of color here and then down here. I'm gonna actually drop the opacity on that a little bit to take off a little bit of the sheen. It's a little too shiny, so I don't want it to be too shiny. Drop that down. There we go. And a little bit of dark up in here. Nope, wait, wrong layer. Here we go. I want to make that a little bit darker. Like dark there, and just I want to grab a little bit of darkness here just to create some shadow work. Why am I having difficulties here? Come on, buddy. Because I am attempting to work this on the same layer. So let's do that and go back to here. Here we go. Okay. There we go. Yeah, a little bit of shadow here just to darken up these forms over here a little bit, and here into the shadow here, and here the back, these sheaths. There we go. So we're just doing we're doing it comic book style, right? So we do the flats, and then we do the line art, and then we do the flats, which is like the base colors, right? And then we add in our highlights and the shadows that we want to help complement the form and shaping of the armor or whatever it is that we're working on. And then once we have, this is pretty much about where we want to be at. So just a little bit of accent here just to darken this up a bit here. And darken that in a little there. And then around the edges here, we can darken that up a little bit. Just add a little bit of volume to it. And then we can merge it all together and then start working the details into the line art to make it a single piece. So, and we don't have a lot more to do. So we can likely get this done today. We still have about an hour to go this morning. So I should be able to get her done today, no problem. And then we'll move on. There's 4 characters in the party. This is our rogue. So once we finish working her through, we'll start on the next guy. We'll start with the flats and then go through the whole process again. But this flat process this color art doesn't take a lot of work to get done. It's just, you just have to be methodical about moving through each piece of it. So just give me a second here to reflect, and then we'll start in again on the next bit. I like how this is turning out. Yeah, it's a cool little character. It's not super heavy detail. It's not like she's a main character or anything. She's just a side character that could show up in the adventure. So I don't want to murder myself over it, but it's fun to do character art on one like this. I like it a lot. I want to. Well, let's grab a highlight off of here. Nice. There we go. Okay, cool. So that was easy. Now that we have all of the, that's pretty much the. That's the base of it. So what I think I want to do next is, do I want to be bold and just let's try taking the entire thing and roll it into a single layer. Merge the group. Now it's just a single layer. So now we're going to start working the piece as a single unit. I'm just going to grab a point, whatever point grabbed my interest. That's where we're starting. And now I'm just doing blend. And I use mostly blend using just a smudge brush, just to take the edge off of the line art where I want to take the edge off of the line art, you know. And the smudge brush lets me pull on the pixels a little bit. And if I need to paint over, then I can just switch to my brush and start adding whatever color it is to overlap on whatever it is we got going on. So, but for now, this should be sufficient. So I'm just trying to like soften up the wisps of hair that are hanging off of her. Don't have to worry about any particular detail in her face because her bangs are resolving all of that. See, here's an instance. See, I want to add in a little bit of line weight here. And then here, there we go. Now we can just blend that back in. There we go. Now we're just gonna basically work our way down the body, or whatever it is that grabs my attention next. For now, it's just I wanted to get the head resolved, just so that I can get. This is going to be probably the most delicate detail that I need to do. I could zoom in if I wanted to, but this is only 300 pixels, so I can't zoom in more than here on the detail. It's very mild. It's very, very low resolution. Like I said, it's just token art, some small minor just a minor character that may or may not even show up in the adventure, depending if the DM needs her or not. It's fun throwing rivals into adventures, especially if you're running a longer campaign. You could run this adventure as a one-shot, just a run and gun through a dungeon to find an artifact and get it out before time runs out. But if you want to add it as, I like that. That looks pretty cool. Now I can trim this down. So, hey folks, how you guys doing? Appreciate folks swinging by. And it sounds like my music stopped again. I tell you, man. Okay. Nice. That feels, it's subtle. It's a very small little detail, but I like it. So this is coming along nicely. We're just going again. We've already blended in all of the color into the line art. Now we're just going through and sculpting and cleaning up, mostly with a smudge brush, just to blend the line into the color, so they merge together a little bit more coherently. I'm gonna thin that up a little bit there. And I can bring this down here. There we go. So we'll have this piece done today. And then there's 4 characters in the party total, so we'll just grab the next character and start working on whoever's next. And we just keep going through, just working our way down the document until the party's done, and then we'll drop them into the page of art where they belong. And then we'll start a new piece the next day. So I do this Monday through Fridays in the mornings like this, and sometimes in the evenings, like Mondays and Thursday nights. I won't do it this week. I'm still recovering from COVID, so I'm not going to work tonight. I'm going to sleep tonight. But typically Mondays and Thursday nights we do game design or whatever, and then sometimes Tuesdays and Friday lunches we stream as well. Basically looking at different game design or ideas and stuff. Who knows what we'll work on? And and while I'm recovering from COVID, I don't plan on being as intense in my schedule. There we go. Bring that in. See, we just got to do a little bit of cleanup here in the line art, just to blend it in a little bit, so it feels just a little more. A little less cartoony. Cool. See, just go through that process and we'll just work our way down her body. And when we get to the bottom, we're done. And we'll move on to the next character. Let's blend that in like that. There we go. I want to bend that arm a little bit, just to get a little bit more sleek form. Good. Add that line in there just to give it a little more definition. That feels pretty good. Thanks again to folks that are hanging out and vibing with me here while we do some artwork. Really appreciate it. Really, really appreciate it. I would love for this channel to get over 1,000 subscribers. I think it's just a matter of time before I do, but it's all I do is live stream, and I don't really extract any of the videos in particular. Like I don't make them like videos because I do a daily update, so it's like I don't see any real reason to upload them as actual videos. I just kind of let them sit on my channel as just instances of me creating artwork. This might not be the right way to do it, but it's what I'm doing currently. There we go, like that. That's my 20-minute timer to let me, just to help me keep track of where I'm at. And so that tells me it's 7 o'clock. So I've got an hour left before I have to go to my day job, and I'm gonna grab this and bring that in like that. Yeah, that feels pretty good. Grab that as a highlight here to bring around for a thumb. There we go. Sorry about that. I've still got frog in my throat from the COVID, so it's I'm not fully healed yet. It knocked me down, dude. I've been off stream literally for a full week while I've been recovering from this. It's been a nightmare. Just completely wiped me out. So I'm thankful to be back online already. It's a very simplistic grip we've got here, but I think it works. There, that feels good. Sorry about that. Yeah, that feels pretty good. I don't think I have to whinge on those details any more than I have, so I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to move on. I don't want to put any particular details here on this belt buckle. I just like it being a little plate like that. There we go. There we go. Stretch it out, Kearney. Just gonna blend this all in. Oh, I need some water. It's been a while since I've had any water. I need that. Still healing. COVID's a hell of a drug, man. COVID is just nasty, nasty virus. It just wipes you out, man. I am thankful that I had an opportunity to recover as quickly as I did. There we go. I love doing leather and little armor bits like this. They're so much fun. Thin that down a little bit, like get these little ridges. It's like those poofy winter coats. Sorry, I'm still got phlegm and stuff in my throat from being sick. Trying to not throw up in your ear. Blend that in like that. See? Nice and subtle details. Doesn't have to be anything too crazy. I want to leave some of the art and play, some of the line work untouched because it helps add to the texture and variety. Some places need to be smoothed to blend the art, like in the face, like less hard lines softens the face, for instance. So there's different points where you want to, and that's just an aesthetics thing. And I guess kind of acquired a preference for that over time. I mean, I've been doing freelance art like this since 1999. So 20 some odd years I've been basically doing character sketches and stuff. So I get a sense of style for myself, like how I like things to look over time. See, this guy's almost done. This is looking pretty cool. I like her. Very close to done here. A low resolution character like this, I can get done maybe like in an hour, maybe like in like 3 or 4 hours. if assuming that I can find a pose that I like quickly, and you can watch some of the prior videos that I had of making this group, that I was really struggling with some of the poses. And maybe they're not. Maybe some of them aren't the best poses, but they're what I ended up settling with. But it's going through that process of finding a pose that's interesting to me to work with. That often takes the most time. Once they sit the way that I want them to sit, it doesn't take nearly as much to get them knocked out. I feel like I'm going to take all of this. I'm going to try. To cut it out and then thin it down. There. Yeah, that was absolutely the right choice. So we're going to merge that down. Hey, there we go. We done here? We done with her? Yeah, I think that's good. So yeah, there you go. There's her. There's our rogue. Pretty happy with that. We're gonna hit save there for her, and hey, we did it, guys. That's our first gal. So she's done. Let's switch to the tank. So here's the next piece that we're going to work on. Here's the sketch. Here's the reference art that we're going to use for the coloring on this guy. And we got this from where did this come from? CreativeUncut.com gallery AO character concept 06. That's the best attribution I can give. A lot of artwork. I grab artwork offline for color references. I don't see color myself. So like I don't see this color. It's just grayscale to me. So I have to use color picking tools. Up here in the corner, you can see the color. Like in the upper right hand corner, you can see the color slider here, the RGB. So I can slide this around to make different colors. And I know that like this is green, right? And I know this is blue, and this is purple, and this is red, and this is orange or yellow, depending on how sharp it gets. But I don't actually see those colors. The RGB slider is my color vision. So what I build here on screen, it's just gray tone to me. So I have no idea what you're looking at. And generally I'm told stuff looks cool. So I trust that it all works out okay. But I literally have no idea. I have no idea if, you know, I've been doing this for a number of years. I've learned to trust that that ends up being okay. That I don't have to really stress too much about what color specifically are we using. That's black. When we finish all this art, what this looks like is we're going to go to. Hold on, I'll show you where all this is going to sit in the actual book. So here is, get these references out of the way. This is a piece that I'm working on for this corner piece. This plot hook is called Church of the Silver Flame from the Eberron campaign setting and the adventure goals. So this is Derica. Derica hires the characters to investigate the presence of evil in the Carnwood and recover the missing scouts. And these are the missing scouts. These were the rough sketch that we made for the scouts. And when we actually go through here, like I'll probably focus in like for the bust, I'll probably do like this, like specifically here for this character, like just this bit here. what will be actually depicted here in the silhouette, like here, like Enrica. Thank you. Yeah, this is Enrica. It's like this will be all we see of Enrica in this image here. But again, it's a really small. And this is this format that we're using. This is a 16:9 format. See, if you're looking at this full screen right now, you'll be able to see if I can. Photoshop is a bitch about resizing the screen like that. There we go. That's roughly on a digital device. There we go. That lines up pretty good. On a digital device, this whole page will fit on your device like this, whether it's a desktop monitor like I'm using, or your phone, or a tablet that you have behind the DM screen when you're actually playing like in person, or if you're using virtual tabletop, you can just have a tablet set up on the side that you can flip through to be able to read stuff. And each of these individual columns are also 16:9. So I can't just flip my monitor to show you, but you'll have to trust me, it works. So the entire adventure is formatted in this 16:9 in this column by column, like all the pages, like all the different rooms and blah blah blah. So I'm doing these sketches because even though they're just these little busts here, when we actually get into playing the game, if you decide to include these adventurers as like a rival, like if you're not using if you're using the Church of the Silver Flame, then these are guys that you can rescue that are stranded as scouts that you need to extract from Karnath before they get discovered. But if you're not using the Silver Flame plot hook, these guys could show up and be rivals against what you're trying to achieve in your adventure. And as the DM, after you read through the adventure, you'll see where all the pieces fall in place. And then when you get to the appendix in the back end, where these alternate plot hooks are provided, then you can see, oh, I can have these things all blah blah blah. But yeah, so that's where this is where the characters are going when we finish them. So. I just wanted to show that off for you guys real quick just to see where we're at. Save changes to this equals no. There we go. And we'll hit save here to make sure this gets locked in. And again, we'll go back to conceal the rogue. And then we'll go back to the tank. So here's our sketch for the tank. I'm going to drop this out of the way. We're going to have a... Yeah. Here's our character, and here's our shield, and here's our spear. And we're going to do this same thing we just did for that. So let's get that out of the way. I'm going to add these as a line. And then we're going to create color. And we're going to go through the exact same process that we just went through. Here you go. So let's yeah, that's probably pretty good. That feels good. So let me get this out of the way. There, wrong layer. There we go. So we do the flats first, and then hold on. Where'd my music go? I ran out of music again. Not a lot of, yeah, there we go. Some skin down here. There we go, pretty cool. And so that's the skin, and then Let's do like that. That feels good. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. That's good for hair, and that's the wrong layer. So let's cut that out and then drop it in. There we go. And let's see. Next, actually, I want to slide this over here. Where do I? This guy is inconvenient. Let's just grab that. For a ruddy shield color. Highlight for there. Pick up for the spear. Thank you, Tommy Timer. Keeping track of time with me. Thank you very kindly. Am I keeping these all separated into separate layers like this? When we merge everything down, we'll keep the spear and the shield as separate layers away from the rest of the body, so that we can, like, I'll probably want to drop the spear down because it's like a little bit too high up in his hand. I want to drop it down a little bit so we can go here and drop the grip a little bit like that. That feels a lot more natural in his grip. So, good call, Kearney. And we'll get back to here. Let's see. How's this looking? What we got going on here? That, I think we can use that cape for, that's very, very red. It's a little sharper red than I think I want. There we go. I can use that down here. There, and I'm going to go with hardened leather here and here. let's go with this. Here. There we go. And let's get that out of the way. Drop down here. That's not how I wanted that to go. Hold on. I wanted it darker. There we go. That'll feel good. Oh yeah, I can do that, can't I? That does make sense. Let's drop these. That does make sense. I like that. There we go. Cool. Okay. Got that. Back to it. That's very, very dark. I think that's too dark. Yeah, I want to lighten that up a little bit. Nope, let's okay, let's do it like this. How about we go there. That's a good distinguishment. So let's go like that. And go back to pop and merge down. Now we got it good. Okay, cool. I can work with that. Excuse me. Like that. We'll drop this in here. Here we go. Nope. That's the wrong way to do that. Oh, interesting. Let's just block that in. We'll block it in, and then we'll find the little metal bits, and we'll poke those out. And then here as well. There we go. That sits good. Okay, cool. I mean, there you go. We're blocking the colors in. So cheers. Okay, now we want to do metal bit highlights. So let's grab here and we'll put in a bit there. And yeah, it feels pretty good. Yeah, I think that should be okay. Should be able to work from here. Now what we'll want to do is I want to keep the spear, the shield, the how do I say this? Let's take the lines, right? And we're going to take the spear and the shield here, like that, and separate those two. Spear. Shield. Line and body, separate from shield and spear. Good. So now we can take the line here, duplicate that, merge this down. Now it's a single layer again, and we can go through the same process that we just went through with our rogue. And then we'll do the spear separately from the shield. So I'm going to actually drop these out of the way for now, so we can do cleanup. There. Let's zoom in a little bit. So we're going to be back, assuming that my recovery from COVID continues to move in this trajectory. We'll be back tomorrow morning as well, and we'll continue. Oh shit! I should not have merged these together. That was a mistake. Because I need to do silly rabbit. I need to do all the highlights and detail stuff before I go and separate the layers like this. I'm a little off still, guys. I'm sorry. I've got some sick going on, so I'm not I'm not necessarily dialed in the way that I should be. Mistakes will be made. So let's go back and work on our highlights and our shadows. Before we blend everything down and do all that again. So here and then here. Like, this guy's looking awfully drab. I need more water. So we'll do... Excuse me, I need to find my colors. Yeah, we'll do shadow first. And I don't think I want to be so dark. I'm going to use a gradient. Just to drop this in here to add some shadow in this mess here. Excuse me. Huh. There we go. That's feeling a lot more natural. There we go. That's feeling There, nice. That feels really, really good. Unfortunately, I did that on the same layer. Again, I'm just completely off today, but we'll do the highlights on a separate layer. It doesn't look like we're hurting anything. There's so minimal amount of skin. It shouldn't be a problem. There we go. Nice. That feels really good. I like that. Cool. All right. So skin is good. Let's make sure that we don't make that same mistake. Let's go up here to this guy. Grab that highlight layer there. Let's push this up a little bit more. There you go, buddy. I'll work that in a little. That's going to end up working nice. Here, this was the fabric layer. And on our reference image, grab that from here and here. Drop this in here like that. That makes sense here. Get some highlights in here. Where's that shield? Let's bring that shield in to see what our angle is like. Yeah. Let's erase that. There we go. Like that. That feels good. There we go. And now the armor. That's a good reference there. That's a good dark. I don't think we need to worry about any additional dark. I think it's dark enough. I think it's just, we just need to focus on highlights. There we go. Actually, Yeah, we'll focus on highlights, and then we'll figure out if we want any added shadow. Nope. There we go. This will be largely shadow underneath the shield here, so I don't need to worry about highlights there so much. I'm going to focus them on over here. Darken that up just a smidge. There we go. And then here. That feels pretty good. I'll do a little bit of highlighting across here. There we go. I am going to add another layer here for some darkness in here. Hey, timely timer. I like that. That feels good. What time is it? 7:38. We're almost out of time. I think this is probably a good stopping point for me now. I think it's going to take a little bit more than 20 minutes for me to get this done, and I think I want to take a little bit of just downtime before I need to get launched for my day job. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the brakes here for now. We're going to come back, assuming everything goes well and COVID keeps off of me. We're going to come back and we're going to continue working on this tomorrow morning. But here we are for now. I like this guy. He's turning out really, really cool. So that's a good piece. When we pick this up tomorrow, we'll finish him, and then we've got other characters to resolve after this one, and we're just going to keep rolling through them one at a time. And once we get done with these set of characters, maybe we'll go back and work on Danica's background a little bit more at the Silver Flame, and we'll just pick up whatever the next piece is and start that up, and we just keep going from piece to piece throughout the book until all the art in the book is done, and then we can seal everything up and publish it, and it'll be on the DMsGuild. So that's it for now. I really appreciate you guys. If you guys thought this stuff was fun, this is pretty normal for how this stream goes. So I would love it if you think this stuff is cool, to like and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. This isn't a very popular form that YouTube promotes very much, so, but it's what I do to keep sane. So be welcome to jump on board, and thanks a lot for being here today, guys. So I'll be back tomorrow, and we'll finish him up, and I'm looking forward to it. So I'll see you guys then. Cheers.